Hi, everybody. If you're wondering day by day, what does that mean? It is my day by day search for God in my life. If God is omnipresent, He's everywhere, then I should be able to find Him, right? So this search has all come about because of a Bible study that we were doing in my Sunday school class at church. We were doing Christians at our best, living in an age of outrage. And, it's a good Bible study, but it was actually session 5 that kind of caught my attention. It was all about our presence online as Christians. And as we're going through it, I'm like, well, I do a really good job online on Facebook. I don't really go off the handle about things. I'm very even keel, positive, because early on, I just realized that this is very, very public, and anybody who thinks it's private is just crazy. So, it should be out there for anybody to see. My children, my pastor, my mother, my grandmother, anybody. And so, and I encourage people, and I thought, I do pretty good online. Until we got near the end of the session where it kind of convicted me in that, I don't do anything negative necessarily online, but really, do I do anything to advance the kingdom of God? Not so much. Truth be told, I'll just let you know, I am not a great witness. I'm not good at actively witnessing to people. It is definitely not one of my gifts of the Spirit, one of my fruits. I have a lot of other fruits, a lot of other gifts. That just tends not to be one of my biggies. So it also just so happened that God convicted me after this session of study that I do need to have a presence for Him online. And I'm like, okay, that was a bit of a challenge for me because that's not my huge comfort zone. And so God spoke to me and kind of called me to look for Him daily and kind of make a vlog about it to see how it's going. And so this is for January 1st, 2020, and my obvious presence of God is in Him calling me to do this. So let me give you a little background to show where I am coming from. Basically, I believe that all people are sinners. Everybody sins. Not one of us, I think, can make it through the day making all right choices. And I also believe that there is a perfect God who created everything. I also believe that it is impossible for holy perfection for anybody with any kind of sin to come into His presence, which I long to do at the end of my life. So therefore, I believe that God sent His Son Jesus to die for me on the cross, for everyone, for all sins, so that we can go boldly into His presence after death. So I have made that confession of faith. I've been baptized, and those are my beliefs. So you kind of know where I'm coming from. I am not a Bible scholar. I have read the Bible, a couple times. I'm not great with it, but I think my strength lies in my connection to God, my communication with God. My mom always kind of called me like Tevye. I don't know if you've watched Fiddler on the Roof. Great musical, by the way. But in Fiddler on the Roof, Tevye and God kind of have this conversation going all the time. And that's kind of how I am. God speaks to me. I speak to God. Sometimes serious, sometimes fun. But it's almost like kind of reminds me of what the Apostle Paul said when he said, pray without ceasing. To me, that's kind of my communication with God. Constantly having that communication open. Which is why when He called me to do this, I was like, okay, seriously? And He said, yeah. And so here I am, day 1. And my task is to find God in my life every day to see if I can do it. And so if you're willing or interested in coming on this journey with me, it's great. It's truly a journey for me. I don't profess or pretend to be anybody who knows anything. All I have is a love for God, and so I'm just looking for Him every day to see where He shows up and how that looks. So that's all I have. So I would love for you to come with me on this journey. This is day 1, January 1st, 2020, and hopefully you can find God today, and that's where I found him. He fought in my calling. So hopefully you can find him too.